I'm a psychologist. As a trained researcher, I'm very much interested in how things work, and my question is always why. I'll tell you, my eyesight, as I said, I'm nearsighted, so for my contact lens prescription, -6 and -6.5. So if you know anything about that, you know that I don't see much of anything without corrective lenses. So several years ago, I woke up one morning and I could see perfectly clear everything. And of course, the first thought in my head was, oh no, I fell asleep with my contact lenses. But if you've ever done that, you know how uncomfortable that feels. So I knew that I didn't fall asleep in my contacts, and I remember taking them off the night before. And of course, all of this is happening very fast. And as soon as I thought this isn't right, my vision went back to being bad.
Ta-da! Because your mind controls your vision, and the moment you make a decision, it completely shifts what's going on. So now you need to train your mind to talk to yourself and think in a way that works with clarity, because you just proved to yourself that you can see perfectly clearly. You have that experience on your own, so you can.
Yes. So my belief since that event is that there's nothing wrong with my eyes. It's all in my head. And when
congratulations.
When I asked my eye doctor about it, he looked at me like I have two heads, and he said he's never heard of that before. And no, it can't be repeated, but I refuse to believe that. If it happened once, it can happen again. If one person achieved something, others can also achieve it. So now my goal is, or my question for my goal is, how do I recreate that?
Well, that's why there's so many ideas and tools and experiences that you can explore in the course, because so I have put in the course everything that throughout the last 20 years I have learned or experienced or practiced or discovered that improves eyesight from any point of view I've heard about or explored. And maybe there's still more, but and I have organized it in these levels so that it makes more sense to communicate to others. But there's a lot of options and possibilities. And for some people, clarity may come playing with balls and patches. And for some people, clarity comes when they're going inside and exploring what is the emotion behind the symptom. And for others, it's other things. Now, let me tell you a story that is going to be very surprising. And maybe your ophthalmologist will, if you tell him, he'll look at you as if you had 5 heads. But one of the vision educators that is very esteemed in our international community is Jacob Lieberman, and he's an optometrist by profession. So if there's someone that can measure eyes and all the refractive errors, etc., well, it's him and the other optometrists as well, of course. And he had a very big myopia for a very long time in his life. And then in his exploration of natural vision improvement, he had some kind of spiritual awakening doing one meditation. And after that spiritual awakening, he saw perfectly clear at all distances. And in your case, it was for a moment. For him, it was a before and after. But because he's an optometrist and he has all the machines, he measured his eyes. In his case, which may not be yours or other people's, but in his case, he still has a refractive error that should correspond to -5 or -6 myopia. But he sees perfectly clear, and he sees now perfectly clear. So we were just saying that it's in our mind, but in his experience, it's not even in his mind. It seems to be in this other aspect of our consciousness that we can call, I don't know, the spirit, the soul, or whatever deep word you want to say, to name it. And fact is, he's been seeing perfectly clearly for decades at all distances in whatever is considered normal vision. And if you measure his eyes have 5 or 6 diopters. So you can believe whatever it is that makes sense to you. But for me, what's important is that you know that it's possible. And and it's not just me saying it's possible. You just had the experience. So you know deeply, personally, that it is possible. So as you said, now it is about creating the same conditions you had when that happened and making those conditions permanent. experience tell us that it is a lot about relaxation, deep relaxation, body relaxation, emotional relaxation, mental relaxation. But our beliefs are so, so important. One thought and your eyesight shifted in the second you had that thought, right? Yes. So maybe you need to massage your belief system.
Yes, yes, right? Absolutely. I need to have an expectation that the next time I wake up in the morning, it'll be perfect from there on.
Take it very naturally and casually, like, oh, okay, I'm back home. Now I see clearly, instead of saying, oh, something's not right, or this is impossible, or it's extraordinary. Just naturalizing, seeing clearly. It's normal, it's natural. Another thing I want you to know, I remember this person very specifically. It hasn't been necessarily the most common thing, but if she did it, like you said, if somebody can do it, somebody else can do it, right? It's possible. So her name is Laura. She's from Madrid, and she took this course in 2018. I don't remember if it was July or September. She came into the course with 9 diopters of nearsightedness and 2 diopters of astigmatism. And within 4 or 5 weeks, she had reduced 5 diopters of myopia, and all of the astigmatism was gone. So she could do it that fast, means it's possible, right? Her starting point was worse than yours, and she could let go of that quite quickly. So I'm leaving you with those things to ponder with. Sorry, my English is a bit rusty today, but
thank you very much.
Yes, my pleasure. Okay, and I'm so happy with you. If you could see clearly, again, that means you can. So, and if your ophthalmologist or eye doctor is very surprised, maybe you can find other eye doctors that are more supportive of that transformation, so that there aren't conflicts in beliefs in the people that are around you, supporting you to see clearly. Yeah, because that also helps, or doesn't.